What's up? I'm Grizz. Welcome for episode 20, Vinland Saga Season 2. It continues our second episode following this. Interested just to see, I guess, the route that it kind of goes, and more so interested to see the route that they take with Einar and Thorfinn and exactly what they do, if we are just literally fleeing from everything that's going to occur here, or if something's going to kind of click within them and they're going to decide that they want to turn around, and for whatever reason, maybe it's to thank Sverkvall, or maybe it's literally just because they want to put a stop to this and they feel this could be the first step in what they want to do by trying to stop violence in some sort of way. Like, what exactly the route that they want to go. I don't know. I'm excited though. I feel like I'll hit the like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion, leave any comments about this episode or series, as well as recommend other things for me to watch at some other point. Let's get going though. Episode 20. The title of the episode is fucking Pain. Really? Really? Oh no. But they're people who are complete next level in comparison to you. Oh, it's fun. Okay, well. That's twisted. Yeah. His next fucking level. Is killing so fun now, huh? Ask yourself that. These are people who think it's fun. You're not. Why can't I enjoy it? This is fucking horrible. Oh my god. Oh, your protector. He's got his men. Yep. We're already fucking outnumbered. We lost our hundreds of fucking men already. God, I was gonna be like, retreat? I didn't say that. Yeah. And his head goes up. Yeah, they don't want to lose their lives. You're gonna have 7 dudes. Oh, you're going too? He doesn't give a fuck about death. At what point? Who cares if you're dead, right? Like. Yeah. There's still somebody higher ranked than you here, you know? You always listen to those above you. Might makes right, huh? That's a unfortunate way of looking at it. Not entirely wrong, I guess. Let's go! Fucking kill him, please! Oh no, they just took his helmet. Did they actually get him, though? Please show me the confirmation so I can celebrate, please. Look at them, he's completely on guard. Yeah. Don't go to the OP, don't go to the OP, don't go to the OP. They went to the OP. They went to the fucking OP. Nice. Oh! He broke his fucking sword. Ah! This is exactly what I thought would happen, so now it's a matter of is somebody going to come in and help Canoe. Prediction was somehow Thorfinn's going to come back and do this for whatever reason. Is that going to happen, though? Or is it like when you swing a baseball bat and the shit, like in the cold, and your hands go numb? Oh! Use everything at your disposal. You've always been good with your tactics. Oh! Oh, that wasn't Canoe? Yeah, okay. You gotta protect your mans. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck you. Oh my god. Good, bro. His battle cry. It's fucking time. Oh, he's running. I thought he was just gonna say fuck it. He's special. Mm-hmm. Please don't be. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Fuck you. Sound of the world falling apart, at least the world around you, I guess. Also, Les, have you even begun to think about that? Ah. To go to a place without slaves and war. But it's not something that he can control. Is that like a question of her being like, if that's the case, I don't have enough in me to survive till then? Yeah. Somewhere where you can't go right now. They're waiting for me. It made me feel like I wasn't so alone. And so will I. Same exact thing that Einar talked about with Thorfinn in episode like 3 or 4, right? But you owe it to the others to continue going. Do out what they couldn't because somebody allowed you to live. All the way back from the beginning, yeah, he did. It's a cold world, dude. What a long way Thorfinn especially has come from taking so many lives to being the one here trying to save someone in a way. This ain't your typical shonen, brother. It doesn't happen like that. This is the real fucking world. Leif watching on. The exact same thing he says. And even if it's not there, it's a beautiful thing to think. Knock some fucking sense into him, dude. Snap him back. Calm down. Were you the one before you brought up about this? Being fueled by wanting hatred and revenge on others? Or something that they did and people that they took? And how it's not worth it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So much growth through Thorfinn's part of this episode. So much. Yeah. I don't know. What are you gonna do though? I mean, I know, but how? We've come so close finally. Leif can't do it anymore, dude. He's yeah. It's been so long. I get it. For being so strong to be able to. Fuck. It's beyond anything I can even comprehend how such a story has presented so many good episodes through 20 so far. It has been on like such a streak of continuing to develop them and make them better and better every single time. While certain moments might have hit peaks earlier on, episode like 9, for example, we continued, especially I think starting at like 8, we really continued onwards of this uphill trend, or this trend of at least staying relatively at the same level of hitting emotionally or building towards something that's ultimately going to hit a climax that I'm assuming we're going to reach next week. Fucking, I don't, I'm at a loss for words how truly spectacular and just incredible this story is, and how thankful I am for being able to be in a position here to watch this weekly and share the events of my thoughts as well as my reaction, and just have this open conversation in a way with anybody else who is watching this as well. So for that, thank you, and I can't be happy enough to be in this position to do this. This episode was so compelling, I guess would be the word. No, that probably wouldn't be the word, but it showed an incredible amount of development, I would say, for Thorfinn. While we've seen the development, you know, consistently grow throughout this season, especially with him being able to reflect on the things and change the way that he was, or wanting to change who he is, and just the type of person he wants to be and what he's striving for and everything, right? And we've seen him hit those growths, but the amount of different callbacks in a way that kind of presented themselves throughout this episode. We've seen multiple opportunities where Thorfinn's tried to stop Einar from getting into fights and all this other stuff that's going on, but the specific callbacks in a way of Einar telling him, you know, about there's no point of having like that hatred in his heart for somebody who's dead at this point anymore, even though I guess Kettle's still alive, but he's practically on his way out, it appears. And the way that he's able to try and pull him back and tell him about his rage not, you know, solving anything, and, you know, to kind of let things like that go, and just let him break down, and that's not the way that he wants to go. Or the callback of him specifically citing things regarding Vinland with Leif right in front of him, and being able to try and lift the spirits of that in some sort of way. And then the other one of him trying to bring her back to life in a way, and performing something that he's seen his dad do before, which was literally, I think, episode 2 or 3 or 1, or one of those few at the beginning there, and him going from seeing somebody bring a life back and take in somebody who was running away and all this other stuff going on before, to see the development of how he's taken so many lives over time, and then he becomes a slave like that guy was who ended up running away, but then he's now in a position where he's trying to protect the same situation where he's trying to protect a slave and bring them back to life. And right, like the parallels that are kind of coming between this and him fully developing who he really is as a person through all these experiences and everything that he's had in his life. It's truly fascinating just to kind of be able to witness and watch and see it all unfold here. On top of being able to mix in so many things, such as the brilliant performance that Arne's voice actress keeps delivering every single time that she's involved in this show. And I, can't praise her enough. And I'm going to have to go look her up after this and just, see anything else that she's probably been in before and give some of those a watch if she's been a main character involved, because she is absolutely killing this role. And then her finally being able to say her goodbyes in a way, or talking about how she has no intentions of going to a land that similarly in a way has war and slaves and everything, and she has another place to go and has people waiting for her on the other side. And everything that goes on, and just the beautiful the scenes that they do when people die, having the white background with the focus on the center of everybody involved in that scene, basically. It just, I don't know, there's so many things that they've consistently nailed and done previously as well that can kind of call back to what is fully coming forward this episode. And it's so good. Top of the production just being absolutely phenomenal, as well as a mixture of also the music and everything else just elevating these scenes completely. I don't know. We'll sit here all day if I just want to keep praising certain aspects of that, but I feel like that's not really the route for me to continuously go here, in the way that we're going to kind of go. I feel like I haven't done like an actual episode, like recap breaking down each specific scene on the show in a while. And we're probably really not going to do one here, but there were a few moments in the early half that I specifically wanted to touch on and talk about. One specifically being this scene here where they're fighting. These two guys are fighting at the beginning. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I under the impression, at least based on how fluid in a way this is kind of moving, and how, just everything is presented itself and the lack of detail within the characters and all that, I'd be under the impression that this is CG. And if it's not, maybe it's just rotoed extremely fucking well, but it looks amazing to me. And usually you see something like this and it's jarring in the sense that you visually look at it and it stands out in comparison to the motion and the fluidness, I guess, of how like a normal drawn scene would end up looking. But because of how this is, it just stands out, right? It just makes me wonder. I am curious, and that's not me, I'm not going to complain if you do say that it was. I'm just saying it looks incredible for how they usually do it. Usually you could just exactly tell what's going on, or if it is or not. And this one I'm pretty sure it is, but it might not be. And like I said, it might just be really well done rotoing or just really well done CG. I don't know, but it looked great. The intro scene regarding him talking about being scared of dying and talking about how before killing's always been so fun for him and the position that he's been in, right? And now being able to see these absolute beasts, these actual dudes that you would look up to and call them warriors, going around and having so much fun killing little ones like you, right? It flips everything on its head, and it kind of puts you into perspective more of the idea he talks about, how the weak or the strong are always the ones who are going to kind of come over the weak in a way, and how wealth and just power and everything can kind of trump everything else, which is exactly the situation that he's always shown us in. And we've talked about before why there needs to be this hierarchy in a way of the retainers always picking on the slaves and everything else that's going on, because it makes them feel like they're in power and they like feeling stronger than others and just whatever position that they're in, right? And that's the exact situation this guy's in. He's always felt like he was above the people around him because of this closed circle that he's kind of been putting himself in, right? In this box that he's in. But now he comes into this broader scale thing in an actual battle, and all these people who actually do this and don't fuck around when it comes to this, right? And he's literally turns into one of the people on the lower end here, and they look down on him because of how strong and how much power they end up having working for the king and everything, right? And he's scared now, and now he's the one begging for his life, while before it used to be so fun to just take others, right? And it was just, it's funny the way that kind of works, and it's not wrong in any sense. I mean, that's even how the real world works, and you really don't want it to work like that, right? It's not a good thing. It really isn't, that nobody can kind of be viewed as equal, because there's always others. I mean, things have changed now. Sure, it's not all about fighting like this, but there's still these power levels and hierarchies in a way based on certain things regarding wealth, or just, certain situations that you could be in, literally that still exist to this day. So seeing this kind of how it's transformed in a way over time is really interesting. Torgal coming straight out of the water and attacking Canute, being able to kill off his two guards, no issue, as everybody else has kind of left him alone and leaving his back completely exposed. Expected. I mean, we were thinking that Canute would have to show up and do something. Well, he's able to hold his own for a little bit, using his cape as like a trick to kind of get away and being able to defend like a strike or two here or there, having Wolf come in to kind of try and save him while Canute's trying to get himself together in some sort of way, was great. And being able to see Torgal not give a fuck and just jam his finger straight through his eyes while he's getting completely choked out is fucking brutal, but really, really fun to be able to witness and see. Having a retreat as well, as Snake's calling for it and wants everybody to go away. Kettle not really wanting that. Kettle losing his life in the process, or basically about to lose his life, and them attack him instead of actually going out of their way to capture him. Canute having all of his army kind of come back and scare off Torgal is also something else that happened, which makes sense. I'd expect Torgal to run away in that situation. But yeah, Snake finding Kettle and kind of being like, they're supposed to capture you. I guess they didn't recognize you, and being able to realize, I guess, that he's still alive and he has to kind of carry him along here, almost, I guess, obligated to at this point, while everybody else kind of retreats, so it allows him to retreat as well, which is really unfortunate. At the time, I thought Kettle was actually gone, and he was just kind of holding him for whatever reason. It kind of fucking sucks that he's still not, and I'm assuming we're going to get that next episode or the one after, and he's just going to end up losing himself, or we'll never end up figuring out because everybody's going to go on their own journey, but that's not going to happen based on what we saw at the end here. So I'm interested in the way that they handle that. But anyways, it's going to be Rip Kettle, because fuck him, and he deserves to die. We talked about this Arnade scene a little bit at the beginning, and her kind of not wanting to continue to go to places with war and violence and slaves and everything, and just wanting to send herself off into this peaceful place where she's going to be able to live with her children and her husband, basically her being dead at that point, and her having that idea of going there and not going with everybody else because they physically she wouldn't make it. And I think that was also a way to directly have her tell you she could probably muster up a little bit within her to kind of keep trying to fight and make it as long as she can, but realistically at this point she's kind of just accepted her fate, and she's going to let that happen because she doesn't have anywhere. She's not optimistic about the route that they're going to be going and where they'd head back to if they went to Iceland or anything. But this scene, once again, was overall just done absolutely brilliant. Props to her and her VA. And just everybody else involved in the callbacks that they did regarding Thorfinn and what he did trying to save her, just like her dad, his dad did early in the show. And such is the thing of him viewing the same things that Leif used to about Vinland, and with him right there being able to witness and realize the impact and the effect that he's had on somebody else by preaching this exact thing to him. Snake and Kettle coming back and realizing that Arnade ended up dying while Kettle's completely out of it still, and Einar losing his mind, realizing that it's not fair that Kettle can keep his life while Arnade ended up having to lose hers due to his hands, basically, and being completely fueled by rage and wanting to go kill him. Thorfinn trying to control Einar by telling him about killing, not being able to help, and how his anger is just going to result in more and more death, and about how he's been under that curse for a long, long time, and he's finally being able to push himself to be able to get over that, while Einar is, you know, kind of dragging himself down that path. And being somebody that has made it to the other side in a way, realizes this isn't the route that you should be taking, and is trying to preach that in a way and trying to pull him back to the point he's able to get through to him, and Einar just loses it completely and breaks down, which is more of an appropriate way, I would say, to handle things instead of being fueled by that rage and constantly wanting to take that out on somebody else. Being able to openly express yourself, whether it be crying or whatever it be, right? Just openly being able to have a route that he can express himself and kind of break down and allow these emotions to kind of show and let out will make you feel a lot better. The simplest thing is, you know, any time in life you have something really going on, being able to have somebody around you that you can just speak to and kind of get that out into the open, whether you're actually solving anything or literally just stating the things that you have to. That's why so many times people are like, you need to find somebody to talk to, or just write down your thoughts. Like if you're going to tweet something, or write things down and maybe just save it in a draft, but don't actually send it. Just putting it out there somewhere in some sort of way, but maybe not having to actually express that to somebody else. But even if you do have to express that to somebody else, just putting yourself out there in a way that doesn't involve anger, but then can kind of just express yourself, can be really, really helpful. Scene with Thorfinn looking out onto the water and thinking about kind of where he wants to go and the route that they're going to head here after they bury Arnade. Exactly what he wants to do was this started hurting him. It started hitting of him realizing the idea that there's more out there for him to kind of do, and he's not going to really be satisfied, I guess, kind of leaving here unless he's able to do something. And while he before didn't really understand why people would flee to Iceland after losing a battle or trying to run away from war in some sort of way, thinking that's a cowardly thing to do and not a manly thing to stand up there and fight and, you know, defend yourself in some sort of way, but running instead, like what the fuck is that, right? And him realizing now as he's grown older and been through all this stuff, how much courage it really takes, especially people who do pride themselves on being a warrior and being a man, especially at this time, exactly how much courage that actually has to take for them to admit defeat and actually walk away and not let their rage fuel them into the death. And he kind of gives props to them for the things that they've been able to do like that, but realizes he's not really in that same situation. He's not strong enough in this situation to just be the bigger man of letting it go and walking away and never doing anything. Also realizing that if Canut's still here and Kettle himself hasn't died yet, they're probably not going to leave. And for him to kind of be at peace, maybe of letting everybody else here live, or being at peace of understanding if he wants to take that first big step in his ultimate plan of wanting to have a safe space, a place where you don't need war or violence or any of this sort of stuff, he needs to take action in some sort of way and not just run away and allow something like that to reoccur at another point. So his route, it appears here, is going to end with him going to Canute, which is going to be absolutely fascinating, and I cannot wait to see how that goes. Him having a conversation with him, maybe. I think that's his ultimate goal, is literally just to get through him and talk to him about this desire that he might have of not wanting any of this, or maybe just trying to understand a bit more. Like, I don't know his exact route that he plans to take here, but I'm very interested in it. He's confident enough that he's not going to die while going along this journey, so maybe if he peacefully comes up with no weapons or anything in hand, and Canute can recognize who he is, they won't come after him and kill him, and he'll be able to get through, and we'll be able to have a peaceful chat in some sort of way. But who knows, that also very well could not be the case. I don't really know the route that they're going to head with that. Conversation with Leif at the end, though, about him not wanting to let Thorfinn go again. This is the like third or fourth time he's had him right there, and he's almost been able to get him and almost be able to bring him back, and he runs away every single time. And he's like, I can't do it anymore. I've spent years, like 15 probably years now, on this quest because I specifically said I would find you and I would bring you back, and I finally have you. I finally am in that position that I'm able to, and you're gonna take that from me. Like, I can't let you keep doing that. But also at the same time realizing the person he is now, his intentions, the way that he is, how much he's grown and what he truly wants here, and realizing that he has to let him go in a way if he really wants that, but kind of just making a promise in a way that he plans to come back and that they will go back together. I don't know. It's tough. It really sucks for Leif. He really dedicated himself to this thread his entire life here now, and unable every single time to do it. It must suck completely for him. But I think he just understands this is something that has to be done and Thorfinn has to do, and there's nothing he can do to kind of put a stop to that. Once again, just absolute brilliance from the show, from everything, you know, the production standpoint, the writing standpoint, the characters, everybody involved, just everything about it. The storytelling itself is just so unbelievably good and just drags you in and gets you in your feels and gets you excited at certain moments and gets you, it hits absolutely everything it needs to, and I can't be happy enough. There's plenty more I probably could say. I would just need more time to really think about it. But I'm going to kind of just let things kind of go there. And I cannot believe, you know, how good it continues to bring itself. And the fact that we are probably going to hit a climax next week with this conversation and this confrontation between the two finally occurring. But now I can't be more excited about it. So next Monday is going to be an absolute fucking amazing one, and I'm thrilled for us to be able to get there in the route that we're going to be able to go. I'm just assuming we have this conversation. It's just probably not going to go exactly how Thorfinn expects. He might have to fight a few dudes, unfortunately, to get through and do what he wants, but I'm assuming Canute will sit down and listen to him in some sort of way, and whether they actually come to an agreement on what he wants, or, you know, can meet in a middle ground, or whatever it is Thorfinn really wants to express to him, I don't know, but I'm interested to see, and I think Canute will be more than willing to at least hear him out, as we've kind of seen before. I mean, the way that he preached with Olmar before, and the way that he talked about just listened to him and gave him an opportunity to become part of him, even though he wasn't, or part of his army, even though he, you know, really didn't have any intentions to. But he seems to have that patience side to him a little bit. Now, he is a bit messed up with Wolf getting hurt and, you know, him having to be in the fight and everything, so maybe it won't be as easy here. But I'm assuming we will at least get that conversation, which I absolutely would want nothing more than. I don't know. Thank you if you're here still watching this and listening at any point here. Can't be happier to share this experience with all of you. If you liked it all, hit the like and subscribe. Do mean a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos in the channel. Leave any comments about this episode or this series, as well as recommend other things for me to watch at some other point. I will be back next week, episode 21. You guys have a good one, though. Thank you for watching. See ya.